Welcome to this new tutorial. In this video I'm going to show you a simple technique to integrate 3D objects into your images with Blender. Let's get started. Alright, so to get started we first need the backdrop image that we want to add our 3D object to. And for this I use this image from hdrihaven.com. I leave the link to this in the video description. So just go to this image and click on Pretty JPEG to download it. And also download the HDRI itself, since we're going to use that later on in the video. The 1K or 2K version should be enough because we only need it for the lighting, and it won't be visible in the final render. Then also go to fspy.io and download this open source software. We're going to use that to match the camera perspective. And here you also need to download the Blender add-on so we can then import this into Blender. I already have Fspy installed, so let me just open this up. And then just drag and drop the image we just downloaded in here so we can match the camera perspective. Here we have two axes that we can adjust. The green one is the y-axis and the red one is the x-axis. And we need to align this with parallel lines in the image. So let's first take the y-axis. I bring this to this corner of the wall. You can hold down Shift to make precise adjustments and open up this magnifying glass. So just hold down Shift and adjust this. You can also turn off dim image to see it a bit better. Then the other y-axis needs to be parallel to the first one we placed. So I can take this one. This should be perfect. And then we need to place those red lines to other lines that are perpendicular to the y-axis. So I'm gonna go with this corner and the other corner of the house over here. Alright, so you can see that those red axes are set to the y-axis, but this should be the Z axis because it is going up and down in the image. So let's change this to the Z axis. But now you can see the Z axis is pointing downwards. So just switch this to the -Z. Now this is perfect. And we can also enable the XY grid floor. And you can see that this grid is perfectly aligned with the street we have here. That's perfect. So if you are happy with the result, just go to File, Save As, give it a name. I'm gonna call it Camera and save it. So now we can go into Blender. First let's delete everything, we don't need this. And then import the Fspy camera. So go to File, Import, and choose Fspy. To see this option you need to have the Fspy add-on downloaded and installed to Blender. So click on Fspy, then choose the Fspy file, camera Fspy, and import it. So now you can see it created this camera, and when we enter the camera we already have our backdrop image set as the background in the camera. So let's go to the camera settings, background image, and bring up the opacity so we can clearly see the image. And also the grid floor of our scene is perfectly aligned with the street. So we can just add in object, for example this plane, and it is perfectly aligned with the ground. Alright, so now we can bring in the 3D object we want to place in the image. You could use any object you want, but I'm gonna go with this character. Scale it up a bit. So we can switch to the render view. And it's important that you are using the cycles as the render engine. because Eevee doesn't support the features we are going to use in the next step. But first, let's fix the lighting in this scene. Since this character is way too dark. So open up a new window and switch this to the shader editor. Then go to World. Add in an environment texture. And open up the HDRI we just downloaded. So select this one, open image, and plug it into the color. Now you can see this in the background and the lighting is already better. We don't need to have this in the background, so let's go to Film and enable Transparent. You really need to enable this transparency, otherwise the render will not work. And now the lighting is already better, but the shadow is pointing in the wrong direction. So let's add in, what is called, the texture coordinate node. Plug the generated coordinates into the vector. Then also go to vector and choose the mapping node. And now you can use this set rotation to rotate the HDRI and adjust the shadows. And I think this should be, yeah, let's go here. Perfect. But now we have this ground plane in the scene, which we don't want to see in our render. But we need the shadows that are casted onto the plane. So for this, go to the Object Properties, Visibility, and set it as a shadow catcher. This is really cool because now we can only see the shadows that are casted on the plane, but not the plane itself. But of course the plane is way too small because the shadows are clipped over here. So let's scale it up. But if we were just to scale it up, you can see, let's scale it up a bit more. You can see that the shadow is just flat, which doesn't look realistic if we have this wall and the door. So let's fix this, go into edit mode, tab into edit mode, scale it down. Then switch to the edge selection mode. Let's first select this edge, G, Y, and bring this back. Then select this other edge, G, X, and align it with this corner of the wall. This isn't perfectly straight, so let's switch to the vertex mode. Select this vertex, GX. Bring it over here. That's good. Then go back to the edge selection mode. Select this edge. Press E to extrude and Z to constrain it to the Z axis. That's perfect. That already looks better, but the door is still a bit janky, so let's go back into edit mode. Press Ctrl R to add a loop cut. Bring this to the corner of the door. Ctrl R to add another one. Bring it to the other side of the door. Another loop cut, Ctrl R, and bring it down here. Alright. Then switch to the face selection mode. Select this face and E to extrude this in here. Tap out of edit mode and this shadow is already much better. I think this looks pretty good, but I want to scale this character a bit down and place it, let's say, over here. Alright, I think that's already everything we need to do, and we can continue with the render. So let's first set the samples. I'm gonna go with 400 samples. This shouldn't take too long. Also enable adaptive sampling to speed it up a bit, and make sure you have transparency enabled as we did before. And yeah, that's everything we need to do. So let's switch to the render tab. Oh no, let's also go to the output settings, and you can see that we have incredibly high values here. This is because when we imported the Fspy file, it automatically set this resolution to the resolution of the image. So let's set this percentage to about 25%. So now the image is a bit smaller. And once you're ready, go to render, render image, or just use the shortcut Ctrl F12. And here we have the finished render, but as you can see, we only have the character and the shadows, but the background image is missing. To bring it back, go to the compositor, click on use nodes. We don't need the timeline, also N to close this panel. And I want to open up an image editor. Let's make this a bit bigger and choose the render result. So we can see this. We can disable the backdrop. We don't need it. And Shift A, input, choose the image node. Open the image we downloaded, our backdrop image, which is this one. Click on open image. And now mix those two together with a color alpha over node. So the image into the top one and the render layer into the bottom one. Now the image isn't matching with our render layer, and this is because before we rendered, we set this to 25%, which scaled our render layer down. But the image here we have here still has the original scale. So to fix this, go to Shift A, distort, and choose the scale node. Bring this in here. Change this to the render size, and now this fits perfectly. Great. So also I think the background image has a high contrast. So let's also add this to our render layer. Press Shift A, go to color, and choose the RGB curves node. And let's give it a slight S curve. Perfect. So here is the final node setup. If you want to take a look at it. And that's what our render looks like. I think this is pretty cool. And if you want to save this render, just go to Image, Save As, and save it wherever you want. You can choose the output format here, so PNG or JPEG should probably be fine. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to know how to do this with videos instead of images, you should take a look at my visual effects course on Gumroad. The link is in the video description. I am Nick from Blender Daily. See you in the next one.